Good morning, Fresh Fam. It is 6 something in the morning. I didn't go to bed till 3, and I should have been out the door something minutes ago. But the dogs are eating, and I want some coffee. And something just came in, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Zero sugar, apple crisp, sugar flavoring, and then I've got some Stoke cold brew and some heavy cream. So I'm gonna put together a little cocktail drink while they eat, and then I'm gonna get out the door. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Good morning, Fresh Fam. I am charging. Story of my life. I don't have a home charger, so sometimes I gotta charge. So yeah, I have an 8 a.m. call this morning. It is currently 7:15. I don't know if I'm gonna make it because I had to go from my house in Ontario all the way to La Mirada, which is by Knott's Berry Farm, and then all the way up to Irwindale, which is where my actual repair is. So we shall see what we shall see. Yeah, so I got my syrup this morning. Made some coffee. So the ratios are off, right? So first thing is, I didn't make it with espresso. I made it with iced coffee, and so I feel like I need something stronger. Espresso would be a lot stronger, and it would be a much better ratio of coffee flavor or whatever. And then the heavy cream was good. Heavy cream I like better than just milk or something like that, because there's a higher fat content, and the fat content with the zero sugar syrups tends to work better. Because in my opinion, I don't like zero sugar syrups. So at Starbucks, they only have a few, and I don't like any of them. They don't taste good. And it's because it has this weird, it's not the chemical flavor. A lot of people are like, oh, artificial sweeteners taste chemically. Yeah, whatever. I've gotten used to that. It has this sour aftertaste. You'll get this sweetness, and then the flavoring, and then the aftertaste is a sour, almost it's just a very unpleasant flavor. I don't like it. So when you have something that has a higher fat content, it kind of mixes with that zero sugar sweetener a little bit better, and in my opinion makes for a better flavored drink. So I like it with heavy cream. It's also more keto than if I were to do milk, because it has more sugar in milk. And then this Chalk Zero apple crisp syrup is good. It's actually really good. It doesn't have that weird sour aftertaste. It has good apple flavor. It is very sweet, and I also didn't really know what the ratios were going to be. A lot of times the syrups, in my opinion, are not very good, and so you kind of have to have a little bit more of them to have the right balance. But I think I might have put too much. It's not overwhelming, but it is sweeter than I would like it. So I think I'm going to try it next time with espresso powder and water, and then I'll do that with heavy cream, and I'll do that with a little bit less sweetener this time. Next time I do it. Also, I need way more ice. I was kind of scraping the ice machine to get the last little bit of ice out, but I need to buy some more ice, so I can have a lot of ice. I like a good amount of ice. So yeah, I'm on my way to my call. Let's see what I'm gonna look at my list. So therapy's kind of going good. I've got references for both of them, or referrals for both of them, I should say. They're going well. Thumbnails and captions with links need to happen. I need to clear data off of my old phone. Can't really do that. Need to buy the Insta, but holding off on that for Black Friday. Fix my goals list. I could probably sit down and do that. I have this note here that says daily consistency goals. What does the perfect day look like? So I think I should start looking at what am I actually doing to make progress? Right now I feel like I'm just here's my goals. I failed again. Here's my goals. I failed again. So I kind of want to figure out how to be more consistent with actually doing the goals instead of just telling you about them and not achieving them. So I want to see what a perfect day looks like, and then start trying to live that day, because I'm not getting enough sleep, and I'm not doing enough consistent stuff. Got to set up the GoFundMe. Upload footage to NAS storage. Oh, that is on there. I'm thinking about getting a NAS storage or making one, buying one. I don't know. I don't really have the money for them. But if I was going to do it, maybe I could just get a nice external hard drive and dump to that. I have one. It's like 2 terabytes. But those things fill up fast, you know? So I'm about a quarter of the way on that. And then all the hard drives on my computer are more than halfway filled. And I kind of want to start like a more exclusive one just for this challenge. Or a couple of them, you know? And then, that's it. That's it for that. Went to the gym last night. I really do think I'm going to start an 8/16 fast. So I'm going to try and not eat super late tonight and just see if that gets me back on track. Like going back to keto, or low carb, and then going back to an 8/16 fast, just to kind of, you know, gear up towards a longer like water fast. I think between now and Thanksgiving I'll do like an 8/16, and then I'll keep going on an 8/16 to the end of the year, and then after the new year I'll actually do like a full 30-day water fast. I'll make sure I'm taking electrolytes and you know, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and multivitamins, vitamin D, etc., and then just water. So that way I can, for leaning out for sure, or losing weight, and also for autophagy. Autophagy is, I think I've talked about it before, but autophagy is very important. Okay, it says my ETA to La Mirada is 7:40. I'm going to be late. I'll let you guys know how it goes. So I actually don't just work on computers. I also work on servers. So this is an HP server that I'm going to be taking apart and completely replacing that system board, that green board that's down there at the bottom. So all these different components are going to come out, and I'm going to replace the system board, and then take the fans out. Here's the cover, the DIMM cover. Here's all the DIMM slots with the RAM, all the different riser cards, NIC card, and so on. All those components are going to come out. This green system board right here is going to be replaced, and then I'm going to put it all back together, and hopefully it works. Wish me luck. Alright, so there is the empty server. There is the new system board. All of the drive bays are still up here. I don't have to remove those. So these are the hard drives. We have the heat sinks with the CPUs, the two processors. And then we have the risers that were back there. We have the fans, the DIMM cover, and then there's the old board. I'm going to remove those DIMM, see if there's any hard drives or memory, like thumb drives there, and then put it all back together. And that's all she wrote. She's all put back together. Here's the lid. There's the one that I just took out. Now we have to go actually set it up and make sure it works. Oh, okay, it worked. The keyboard wasn't working. I was trying to select F9, but it wasn't working. Okay. I live in reality. And sometimes I have to manage my expectations. I have not eaten since this morning when I had that coffee. It is now 2:40 p.m. I had a coffee while I was at that last place, but there was nothing to eat. I had a piece of gum. I wanted to do an 8/16 fast starting today, but that would have been 2 p.m. So I'm now 40 minutes past due on that. I'm literally on my way to my next job site, which is just 5 minutes away, I don't have time to stop for lunch. If I stop for lunch, that's going to prolong me getting to my next site to do my repair, which prolongs me getting done with that repair, which prolongs me getting home, which means that I run into the chance of being late picking up Audrey and being late to rehearsal, and I don't want to do that. And so, like, yes, obviously I should be able to stop and have a lunch, but I live in reality, and the reality is that that's not always the case. If I stopped and had a lunch right now, then all of that, then the rest of my day goes to shit, because that first repair took so long. And then, like, I've had all these people tell me, like, oh, why don't you pack a lunch? Why don't you do this? Like, yes, in theory, that's great. I have a lunch box. I've packed a lunch before, but none of the ice packs that I've ever had keep long enough. So all that shit melts, and then my food ends up going bad. And I'll also, like, I have a little lunch pail that, like, heats up. So if I have something that's cold, it, like, plugs into my lighter and then heats up so that I have warm food that was previously cold. But it's a giant pain in the ass to do because it's not quick. Like, I literally I had I don't know, 10-15 minutes from my last call to here, 5 minutes from here to my next call, and this was just picking up a part. And in that amount of time, I don't have time to, like, heat up food. So yes, theoretically I could have put something in a lunch pail that was, like, healthier choices, that is, like, maybe non-perishable, but, like, I don't know what that is. Jerky and fucking trail mix, like, I would eat that every single day, which, I don't know, maybe that's just the decision that I have to make. So there was no food right next to the FedEx that I went to pick up this part right now, so I just I'm eating literally lunch from that FedEx, and it's just the junk food that was available in the FedEx. So I got a bag of chips, I have a Snickers almonds, and I have a White Monster. That is my lunch for today, because, again, I live in reality, you guys, and, like, I don't want to make excuses. I don't want to go, oh, well, I can't do this, that, and the other. I'm just trying to figure out a way to, like, have clean, healthy food and also fit it into my day in a way that works with my schedule. You know, like, everybody's going to argue and say, like, oh, well, your job shouldn't do that, and you should, you know, take a lunch, and it's illegal for them. Like, yes, in theory. But that's going to require me to file a report and blah, 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 and fight it. I did that against my last employer for 2.5 years, and nothing ever came of it. They ended up dropping the case. And it's like, it's physically and emotionally exhausting for me to take on something like that, rather than just accept that that's my reality. I don't eat a lunch because I don't have a lunch break. Like, we're supposed to just take a lunch break whenever, but I was in the middle of that repair. What am I supposed to do? Stop and be like, hey, I know you said you have to leave at 2 because you've been here since 5 a.m., but I got to take a lunch hour, so I'll catch you later. No, that's not reality. Reality is I had to keep going, and I have to go to my next call, and I have to hurry up and get that shit done, because otherwise Audrey's late to rehearsal, and I'm late to rehearsal. And so my options are to just pack, like I said, non-perishable stuff, or stuff that's okay with, like, being cool. I guess, you know, the ice packs that I have, by the time the afternoon comes, they've melted completely. So they're the type that you can refreeze, but they don't keep stuff cold for, you know, hours and hours and hours. It's not, you know, like a Stanley or something like that, where it's just gonna stay ice forever. It, you know, melts, so it'll stay cool, but, like, putting meats and cheeses and stuff like that isn't ideal, because it's not gonna stay fresh. Ugh. God, that's good though. So I don't know, man, do you guys have any recommendations? Like, realistic recommendations? Is it just that I have to pack jerky and that's all I can eat, really, until I finally get to a point where I can have a dinner break? Because literally from here, I'm going to sit my ass in traffic until I go home. And then immediately after I get home, I'm gonna have to let the dogs out, go to the restroom. I'm gonna have to change real quick, and then I'm immediately gonna have to pick up Audrey from the high school and then go to rehearsal. So like maybe I would have some time to stop on the way to rehearsal, but I'm already probably gonna be running late to rehearsal. I don't like her to be late. I don't want to be late myself, and so stopping doesn't really make a lot of sense. Plus, even if I did grab some food on the way, like say I went through a drive-thru really quick, I have to eat it. So it's either I eat really quick while I'm driving and hope that I have enough time between there and rehearsal, but I can't really eat while I'm at rehearsal. I'm rehearsing, so I don't really have time to do that. So then the next available time for me to eat would be, you know, at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night once I'm dropping Audrey off. Like, she's probably pretty hungry at that time too, so I'll stop somewhere and get something for the both of us. So it's like, do I eat nothing and just, you know, that's kind of like, I did say I wanted to do a fast, so it's like maybe I just fucking do a fast, since my options are eat shit like sugar and fucking junk food, or I guess I could eat jerky, which is fine, it's just expensive. I did buy a dehydrator specifically so that I could make stuff and dehydrate it myself, so because jerky's expensive, but I could make it myself and make it like 0 sugar and make it all these different flavors, but I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So yes, I suppose I could do that too. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be realistic here, and these are real thoughts that, you know, go through my head. So what do you guys think? What would you do in my shoes? Please enlighten me, because I'm open to suggestion. So off to the next one. So that was a pretty cool little repair. If you saw, it said Dine Brands. I had never heard of them before, but apparently they are the like overall conglomerate that owns IHOP, Applebee's, and then something called like Fuzzy Tacos or whatever it was. You have to go back and look. I didn't even know that those were the same company, but I got there. It was really cool inside. Like, it was like a super fast repair. It was literally like in and out. No, but like it was just a trackpad, the touchpad for a laptop. So all I had to do was literally like open up the back, pull the battery out, swap the 2 trackpads, put the battery back in, done. It was a 5-minute job. But the location was really cool. It was real secretive getting in there. And then when I actually got up to the floor, it was like, it was almost like, I don't know, the guy was saying that there's like a test kitchen in there. There was a test bar in there. And then there was like some sort of like hoity-toity fancy like event going on, because there was a bunch of, he said that was like all of the international IHOPs. I guess IHOP is actually an international house of pancakes, because there is there were a bunch of people there that like owned them in different countries, and then Applebee's, and then whatever this Fuzzy Tacos was or whatever, the owners, and he said like a lot of the head chefs and a lot of the different people that own these restaurants were there to kind of like meet and greet, and then they like showcase new drinks and new foods and stuff. The test bar looked exactly like an Applebee's bar, and they just have all the stuff that you would normally go in, like make drinks and food with, and then they have like meeting rooms and offices and stuff. It was really cool. So I got to meet with the IT guy and just, you know, help him out. The guy that was like the receptionist or whatever, that guy was a fucking dick. Like, he was literally an asshole to me the entire time. And then the IT guy was like, even like, hey, you know, can we get a validation? The man did not say one word to us. Like, he got the validation, but he completely ignored all of our platitudes, didn't say anything. And I was like, sir, good sir, you work at this location. Like, whatever happened to fucking manners? Just basic human decency. God, people drive me fucking nuts sometimes. Sorry. Who knows what that guy's going through? Not trying to judge him, but good Lord, just basic manners, please. Thank you. So I'm on my way home. I'm actually, you know, I'm leaving. It's 3:30. It's going to take me an hour and 15 minutes to get home, but that still puts me home at 4:45, which gives me enough time to walk the dogs and change, and then still pick up Audrey and make it to rehearsal by 6. So pretty stoked about that neither of us has to be late. And yeah, that's been my day. I'm gonna pause while I look at my my book and see what I got going on. Oh, that reminds me, while I was doing the server repair, a lot of times if I'm doing repairs, if it's just like there's a lot of waiting in between, I'm waiting for the server to come up, I'm waiting for a lot of stuff, I'll put YouTube on my phone, and I was watching some videos about a lot of AI tools. There's this guy's name is like Nick Nimmons or something like that, and he does like tech reviews, and he's also, I want to say he's an investor in OpusClip, which is what I use for all my short form content. And he was giving like some best practices, but he was also listing off a bunch of different AI tools that creators can use to like help grow their content and make it better on YouTube. And one of the things that I've been falling short on is thumbnails. So he was showing like Google AI Suite has some really cool tools that I can use. So I'm gonna give it a shot and try to come up with some. What I've noticed is that, okay, like OpusClips, like say I take the entirety of this long video and I put it in YouTube, and then I take that YouTube clip and I give, or video, and I give it to OpusClip. OpusClip will give a whole, like, almost like a prompt or like a transcript breakdown of what the video was about. So I'm wondering if I can take that and turn it into a prompt with some images, if it maybe will spit out, you know, like some cool AI, and then I can add some text to it or something. I've gone to VidCon for years, and all of the notes and everything that I took for VidCon gave me some great information on like how to make really catchy, appealing thumbnails and stuff. I just haven't had time to do the editing. So if I can plug some stuff into a prompt and let AI spit something out and, you know, see if it's any good, maybe I can start using that to make my thumbnails, and then also generate like a generic prompt with links and everything that I can just edit here and there. So when I'm uploading a new video, I can just copy paste, make a couple edits, and then it's good to go. Because at this point I've got 13 videos up, so if I don't start now, then my work's just gonna keep piling up. So I'm gonna try some AI stuff and see if that helps. And then I gotta clear off and transfer stuff from my old phone on my Insta360. Yeah, all the same stuff, guys. All the same stuff. I don't think I'm gonna get to the gym again today, but I worked out yesterday. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Maybe I'll post some more stuff from rehearsal. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, love you. Bye. So a couple packages arrived today. I wanted to show you guys. This is some fuck shit. You know, I hate companies sometimes because they do dumb shit like this. Got my Dodger hat after the World Series, except it's not the Champions hat. It just says World Series. And they did that shit on purpose. They had it prominently advertised right at the end of the game, right on the website. So I have to return this now, which is like, what's the point, you know? And then this came in. This is something I've wanted for a long time, because I always find myself in places where like I want to sit down and there's nowhere to sit, like at baseball or like at a theme park or whatever. And this was on sale. It was like 10 bucks or something, 15 bucks maybe. And it looks like it could be cool. We'll see. I'm going to test it out right now. So apparently you just twist it maybe? I don't know. Nice. There we go. This is either gonna go really well or I'm gonna eat shit. Not bad. Says it holds like, I don't know, 400 pounds or something. I'm a big guy, but I'm not 400 pounds, so seems to be holding me pretty well. And then you can adjust it too. So if you like, say you only want like half that, you know, you can make a little stool. And you just, and then it's just a little carrying case. And I think you can fully lock it, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Maybe not. I don't know, man, it was cheap. You get the idea.